Hey guys! Today's spicy video is none other than the sequence guide for legendary Reliquaries Fists and Katana. As per usual, this first formation doesn't include any trust stones. I try to make this first team as budget-friendly as possible. Following the sequence shown is very important. The second team is a different story, but we will get to that soon. One important thing is to have some vision cards that increase the damage limit. Mind Flayer is a great budget option for this. Ildira will be dealing damage and healing the team when needed. Skahal will be responsible for taking out multiple enemies. Having some casting time reduction is important for timing. Spectacles will also help push through some damage. I highly recommend that Skahal gets the Rama Esper. In Wave 2, this will come in handy. Prunus Lamina +6 is a perfect fit for Skahal's needs. For cards, I recommend Blossom in the Dark for the Man-Eater up. Also, Envious Magician for magic, Man-Eater and casting time reduction. Next, we have Silma, and long-range jamming thrust is here specialty. Her unavoidable attack in her sub-job will come in handy for Wave 2. Roaring Thunder Clap VC for magic and damage limit up for lightning units. Next for agility, Beloved Sidekick, it also gives just a bit of bestowed defense. Now on to our next unit, that's a 100 cost. Black Rose Helena. She can do it all, especially when you equip her with the Black Rose VC. I gave her the Golem VC to help the team from being too squishy. Platinum Rod, Spectacles +6 and Saiga Gauntlet. The last team member is Salir. For her being an MR unit, she has great mobility, guaranteed hit skills, AoE damage, and a decent healing factor. I gave her a +0 Soul of Thamasa and Lucia's Boots for agility. Trousseau VC for magic damage and Fleeting Blossom VC for acquired AP. With this team formation, it's not too difficult to reach Wave 7. This team, I feel, is pretty solid and shouldn't be too hard to copy. However, for my second team, I will be using the best of what I have. Originally, I was using my basic light team from every other legendary Reliquaries quest. However, on Wave 10, the boss is just too strong for my units to survive properly. So, as much as it pains me to do this, I made my second team the best of what I have. I usually tell you, the viewer, to use the best of what you have as your second team, but this time around I had to do this instead of a budget build. The best formation for Team 2 is probably a water team. I have seen some clear videos on this with water teams with the force of a tsunami. The force of my water units is like a cup of water that fell over. So that's not really an option for me. So here is my second team using some of my best instead of a light budget build. The number of times I was defeated at the final boss was too much, so now it is time for some payback. The problem I found using my light team was that they don't have a good way to do a lot of AoE damage. They are also very height constrained. This legendary reliquary quest has a lot of enemies that spawn in different areas of the map and at different heights. So the last 3 waves of this video will be me getting some sweet revenge. I do really wish I could have completed this with free-to-play units on Team 2. If anyone is somehow able to do it, I would love to see or hear how. Perhaps there's some technique I haven't learned about yet, or a unit that's an all-star for clearing this quest. There are a few things that are important to know about the enemies at the end of the quest. But I will go over this information as the video gets to that point. For stones, everyone is using HP and attack stones except Dialdo. He has magic stones and HP. Enjoy the tactics. Move Ildira to a specific spot, then use Disable to gain some AP. Move Skahal up to Ildira and use Quicken on her. Move Silma to a specific spot, then use Jamming Thrust. Move Selir to a specific spot, then use Thundaga. Move Helena to a specific spot and do nothing.
Let me help you.
Move Ildira to a specific spot, then use Level Water. Use Helena to finish off the last enemy.
Prepare yourself. It is our victory. Now then, steady there. Let's finish this. This battle shall be ours.
Move Ildira to a specific spot, then use Level Water.
All according to calculation.
Move Skahal to a specific spot, then use Thundaga Disposer as shown. Move Silma to a specific spot, then use Fast Cast Protection on Skahal. Don't move Selir and use Thundaga.
Are you prepared to lose
Don't
your
move
lives?
Helena, then use Black Rose Hex.
Finished.
I shall end you.
Hang in there.
Your help is appreciated.
Can't run away. No mercy.
Move Skahal to a specific spot, then use Thundaga. Don't move Helena, then use Devastation. Don't move Selir and use Cure. If you happen to defeat both enemies with Skahal, then use Silma to smack Ildira for AP. Make sure to move her into this specific spot.
Die. You have my together.
Use Thundaga Disposer, then move back to this specific spot. Have Ildira heal herself.
Take this.
I shall end you.
Gain some AP here with Helena.
I shall cover you. Do a lot of killing now.
Use Bolt Surge on the enemy and don't move.
Alright then. Who should I crush first?
Move Silma to a specific spot, then use Unavoidable Pain. Move Skahal to a specific spot, then summon Rama to finish off the last enemy.
We press on.
That's good. This battle shall be
Move
ours.
Ildira to a specific spot, then use Holy.
All according to calculation.
Don't
cannot
move
let you
Skahal,
leave here
then
alive.
use Ruinia.
Can I go ahead and kill this
Move
guy?
Selir up one tile, then use Bolt Surge.
Are you prepared to lose your lives?
Move Helena to a specific spot, then use Level Dark.
Let's
Use
take them
Jamming
all
Thrust
down.
with Silma and don't move.
Off with you. All right, let's get them. Stay strong. I needed that. Well then, shall we go ahead?
I shall end you.
Move Skahal to a specific spot, then use Thundaga Disposer. Move Silma to a specific spot, then use Jamming Thrust.
You?
Move Ildira to a specific spot, then cast Karaga to heal your units.
They were
Sorry.
cutting it close.
Your help is appreciated.
Move Selir to a specific spot, then cast Bolt Surge. Move Helena to a specific spot, then use Level Dark.
No mercy.
Run away!
This won't hurt.
Move Skahal to a specific spot, then use Guard Haste on himself. Move Ildira to a specific spot, then use Holy.
Take this!
Do nothing here with Silma. Move Helena to a specific spot, then use Height Dark.
You will not escape.
Move Selir down to the crystal, then use Flare on the Hornet.
It seems like I can do a lot
I'll
of killing
protect
now.
everyone. Yes!
I'm gonna kill you.
Use Jamming Thrust on the Hornet, then move Silma to a specific spot. Use Thundaga, then move to a specific spot.
This battle shall be ours, all according to calculation.
I shall end you.
Move Ildira to a specific spot, then cast Karaga.
The
Here I go.
magical powers are rising.
Move Helena to the crystal, then cast Devastation. There is a small chance here that Ildira will hit back with a counterattack.
You have my gratitude.
Have Selir finish off the Mind Flayer here with an Esper summon before it has a turn to attack. Then move her to a specific spot.
Die!
How do you like this one?
Move Skahal to a specific spot, then have him gain some AP.
I
Let me
will
help you.
not lose.
Have Silma gain AP here or attack, depending on your AP situation.
You?
Move Ildira to a specific spot, then use Level Water.
Take this!
Have Helena use her ultimate and don't move.
Prepare yourself.
Have Skahal move down and use Bio on Mont. Move Selir over to use Thunder on Mont.
I kill. Let's have ourselves a lovely time.
I must prevail.
I needed that.
I'll fight to the end.
Thanks a lot.
Stand together.
Okay, let's get him. Give me strength.
This battle shall be
Move
ours.
Ildira to a specific spot, then use Level Water.
Can I go ahead and
Move Selir to a specific spot, then use Thundaga.
I cannot
Move
let you
Skahal
leave
to
me
a specific spot, then use Thundaga. Move Silma to a specific spot, then use Nimble Movement.
Are you prepared to lose your
Move
lives?
Helena to a specific spot, then use Black Rose Hex.
Let us end this.
Let's go get him.
me? I'm gonna kill you.
No mercy.
Yeah.
Use Ildira to cast Holy, then move to a specific spot. Move Selir to a specific spot and do nothing. Move Silma to a specific spot and do nothing. Move Helena up and do nothing. Move Selir up and do nothing. Move Silma to a specific spot, then use Jamming Thrust.
Out with you.
My blade shall soar.
Have Helena finish off Stern with Level Dark.
Die!
Don't think poorly.
Get ready!
I will crush you
I'll
all.
kill them.
No.
There isn't much else to do for Team 1, if only we could have more turns. Just a few things to know about this stage: the goblins at the bottom of the steps in front of Dialdo. These guys will have courage active, also they can inflict blind and paralysis, so don't let them live too long. One more thing, they can give your units hate.
To silence.
The dragon's spear pierces the heavens. It's time to end this.
I would recommend that whatever formation you decide to use for Team 2, that you gain as much AP as possible in this stage. You may also want to consider getting crystals to gain a lot more AP if possible.
It's serious.
The time is now.
Tonberry can easily one-punch your units, so be careful not to get too close. Fortunately, this Tonberry is weak to disable. For Garvel and Mariali, they both deal magic damage. Garvel can hit pretty hard, so taking him out early is important.
Easy target.
With the budget light team I was using, I could actually clear this wave pretty easy. Other than that, there isn't too much a sequence to follow for this wave. Just keep in mind about your unit's AP and number of turns left over. You will want to try to have at least 45 turns left over. Also, try to avoid using espers so early, you will need them for the next areas. I also recommend that your second team should have a tanking unit and at least one unit that can heal in a big area.
I shall stop you. An easy target. Wide open. I shall free this world from war. Are you with me?
Here we go, the final area. Some quick things to know. Ibarra can be put to sleep. She also does a buff at the start of the battle that will negate all physical damage. Amnelis can be paralyzed pretty easily, and Gilgamesh will waste his time casting Quicken on Amnelis.
An easy target.
Christmas Ravis can and will land Frostbite on your units. The giant worm has a large AoE attack. It can also inflict blind. You will see in this attempt that I will send a few units at Ibarra, my tank at Ravis, and one unit towards the worm. Don't forget that we now have an accessory that has nullified Frostbite. Balo's phone from the latest Balo quest. Take your time on this stage because it is easy to misjudge the height level of an enemy. My budget light team can beat waves 8 and 9 with ease. It is the final wave that they get wiped to the boss. The enemies are pretty spread out, so make sure to keep an eye on turn order because you can easily walk into an enemy that can do significant damage before you can do anything. On wave 9, the biggest obstacle is remembering that Carbuncle will cast Reflect on its allies. So if your Team 2 has mostly magic units, you might find it hard to defeat the Esper and all the small enemies.
The dragon's spear pierces the heavens.
Apologies for not making this entire video free to play friendly like I normally do.
Protect the holy knife.
The time is now.
It's just that every time I failed at the end, it's another 18 minutes or so to get back to wave 10 just to try a different sequence.
Where you fall.
I must have rerun this legendary Reliquaries quest well over 50 times by now. At the very least, I can say that Team 1 and all of its progress to get to wave 7 is a solid strategy for free to play. After that, I would hope that people will use the best team that they can put together. This beatdown I have going on with my Earth team was its first attempt. I already knew when and where the enemies were going to be, so it was only a matter of throwing my all at this quest. The joyous feeling of finally beating this quest was such a great feeling that I actually shouted yes very loud. But it's a quest like this that keeps me interested in this game. The gear you get to complete is almost like a little trophy. I could only hope that my sequence from waves 1 to 7 can prove useful to our community. If you have a strong water team, then the final wave should be pretty easy. Spoiler alert, I actually blow up my own mockery by accident against Carbuncle. Wave 9. Here we go. Rolgia is pretty easy to defeat. Just remember that he spawns away from everything else. Reliquaries doesn't hit too hard. However, he can be tough to defeat. You could use your abilities that lower resistances. Or save them for the final wave. There has been a few instances where Reliquaries will run into a corner on a lower ground, making it harder to land attacks.
As a warrior of the crystals.
Not bad at all.
Oh boy. Here comes a rookie mistake. I don't know why I attacked here. Maybe because I saw Carbuncle bite the dust. Or maybe I was just in the heat of the moment that I was finally going to beat this quest. In any case, I pressed on hoping that 30 turns would still be enough to clear this. Luckily my King Bradley has the battle dress that grants HP absorb. He also has the blood sword equipped. So even though I lost my healer, I wasn't too worried about maintaining HP. Having jeweled rings was very helpful for those long drawn-out fights. I recommend that everyone at least farms a few of these to a +6. You will see me waste a few turns here as I try to defeat that last enemy on wave 9. This is what I was saying about enemies being just out of reach, thus costing precious turns. Even if Mockery was still up, I wouldn't be able to do anything until that reflect barrier goes away.
Why don't you give up?
Finally, I can take my revenge for all the times I got team wiped on this level. Enjoy the vengeance.
Defenseless.
Now, let us...
Never.
Keep trying.
The power of love.
Wanna see me get serious?
That it?
Fall.
Easy target. Easy target.
Inexperienced. useless. We are surpassed by none.
Finally, this fiery nightmare is over. I hope that you can get something useful out of this. Thanks for watching.